In this video, I want to share with you things that kept me broke. 8 years ago, I was back in Ukraine making $2 per hour, totally fucking broke. Now I run a multi-million-dollar e-commerce business, and there have been some things on my journey that I have removed from my life or minimized them in my life that have allowed me to achieve success. So number one on this list is friends and family. And I want to rank it here. You can see I have this ranking table. I want to rank it pretty high, probably here in the A category, because it is so important what your parents are telling you. Sometimes parents are telling you to take a career path that you don't truly want. Sometimes parents want you to be a lawyer or a doctor or accountant. And you're just like, I don't really like it, but they are forcing you to do that. And parents do that all the time with their kids, which is totally fucking wrong, because kids, as they grow up, as they become adults, they can make their own decisions, and you should only trust your heart when it comes to choosing the career path or something that you want to do in life. The same comes with friends. Sometimes you're sharing with your friends what you want to do. Let's say, I want to start a business. And friends are telling you, you never started the business. Why do you think you will be successful in business? And they're kind of like dragging you down. And that's why, some of those friends you have to eliminate from your life. For my parents in particular, they wanted me to work on the factory. And they're just like, yeah, you're such a good factory worker, Alex. Just work on the factory. And I decided to quit my factory job. I decided to start a business. And I didn't even tell them that I quit my job because I didn't want to hear all of these things that they would tell me. It's like, why did you quit your job? And all of those things. And I only told them after I became a millionaire, I was able to support them. And even then they were like, hey, you should probably get a job. And that's absolutely not something that I want to do with my life, because I want to build a business. I want to build the freedom for myself and my family. So I would put family here in the A category because it is so, so important. Number two is social media. Social media is a big, big, big time waster. I would put it here in the B category. I think it is absolutely crucial that you minimize social media, or at least you look at social media as a producer, not as a consumer. So most people just consuming content from social media, they're watching entertaining videos, they're watching girls, they're watching, whatever. They're watching something that just kills their motivation, just like scrolling all day long. If you look at your screen time, you'll see how much time you're wasting on social media every day, and it kills your motivation completely. But if you're looking at social media as a producer, so for example, you're looking at maybe some products that you can sell using social media. Then you can use social media to your advantage, and then you can absolutely crush it, because social media is an amazing tool if you know how to use it properly. So I'd put social media here in the B category. Number three here is environment. Environment is so important. I grew up in Ukraine, which is not the good environment for business. It's not a good environment for entrepreneurship. There's not a lot of successful entrepreneurs in Ukraine. And it's not just where you live, but also who you surround yourself with. You're who you spend the most time with. So if you're spending time with people that drink alcohol, and that's who I'd be spending my time with, I was drinking a lot of alcohol and I was wasting my time. So you have to move somewhere where you'll be surrounded and motivated by people who have similar values with you. For me, I moved to Poland, then I moved to Malta, then I moved to Miami in the United States. And that has absolutely changed my life. It just showed me what's possible. It just allowed me to be surrounded by people who are just thinking a lot bigger than me. And that opened my mind to all of the other opportunities that are presented. So I would put environment here in this category, in the A category next to friends and family, because it is so, so important. And the important thing to realize here, once you move to a new environment, maybe you live in a smaller city, you move to a bigger city. Maybe you live in a shitty country, you move to a better country. Just moving to that country will put you in a very uncomfortable position, but you will adapt. Inevitably, as humans, we adapt to new environment, we meet new people, we raise our standards, and our quality of life increases substantially. So I would recommend for you to change your environment, just reevaluate everyone who you have in your circle, evaluate where you live, which country you live in, and then move to a better place for the business and to develop yourself. Next one on the list is news. News are very demotivating. If you're watching news, it's always some crime, it's always some murders, it's always some bad thing that they're showing you. Some wars that are happening in different parts of the world. So if you're watching news a lot, you have to absolutely cut it. I remember when I moved to the United States, in 2020, I was watching a lot of news about the virus and like what happened and who's dying and how dangerous it is. And I was watching those news like 4-6 hours a day. And that was totally like just rotting my brain, because like I was consuming all that bad information. I was totally demotivated. I was negative. I was not happy with my life. And there is nothing new that ever comes from watching news. So you have to absolutely cut it from my life. Now, it's not as important as environment or family and friends. So I would put it here in the E category. So now if you think about how much time you're putting towards watching the news, if it's 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day, and you're putting that time toward learning a new skill or learning a new business, then you will be so much farther ahead 1 year from now. So take that time and allocate it towards things that make you push forward in your life. Next one on the list is morning routine. And there's these concepts and YouTube videos about 7-step morning routine. And there's a cold plunge in the morning, and you have to have this 3-hour routine to get yourself in a bad shape. But think about who will win in life. The person who just wakes up in the morning and gets shit done for the first few hours of their day, or the person who just spends the first few hours of the day setting up for the day and thinking and visualizing and taking cold plunge. Obviously, the person who just gets the shit done, because that's the most important. And if you focus on getting the most important things done in the morning, then you'll be more motivated and you'll be able to crush your day, because you'll know that you've done the most important thing of the day done, and now you'll feel good about yourself. So that will motivate you to do even more during that day. Next one on the list is shiny object syndrome. This one is very important, and especially the more successful you become, the more opportunities will come your way. So most people, when they have, let's say, a business that's already successful, let's say the business does $1 million a year. Most people, they would start looking for another opportunity to make $1 million a year with another business, instead of taking that business that makes $1 million a year and just making that business make, let's say, $10 million a year, which is a lot easier, because if you focus on the business that you already understand, you already know the moving parts, it's a lot easier to grow that business than to grow something else. Now, for people that are just starting out, you have to choose just one project. You cannot be running several businesses. Oh, I have a Shopify store and I have my social media agency and I also do stuff on Amazon. Just choose one opportunity and go all in. That's how you win. And on my journey, I got distracted several times, especially with crypto. I was doing different things with crypto. Even though I made a lot of money with crypto, the amount of time that I allocated to it, if I have allocated the same amount of time to my business, I would have grown my business significantly higher. So I would put it here in the B category, because it's the same category as social media and getting distracted with it. Initially, as you start a business, or if you already have a business, you have to put your ads all in one basket and just monitor that basket very, very closely, instead of having all of these different projects happening that you have no idea how to control. Next thing on the list is not seeking mentorship earlier. This is very important, because when I was starting out, I was thinking, oh, maybe I should figure out by myself. And then after trying for some time, I realized that I have no idea how to do it. And it's better to pay someone for their expertise, for their experience, for their skills, than to try to figure out all of that stuff all by myself. And there is 99% chance that whatever problem you're facing in your life or in business, there is someone else who has already solved that problem. So it's better just to get access to that person, pay them whatever it takes just to get that problem solved as quickly as possible, because that will save you a lot of time and energy. So I would put it pretty high on the list. I would put it here in the A category. Also with mentorships, one thing that you realize is that there's always a bigger fish. Maybe you run $1 million business, and then you come to the mastermind, or you come to the event, or you get a mentor that has a $10 million business. And you're like, oh, wow, okay, so I can do so much more. Wow, I can grow this business so much farther, right? Because there is a person that literally has done it in front of you that you can ask for advice from. So if you're just starting out, find someone who has done what you want to do. And if you want to start e-commerce business, if you want to grow e-commerce business, we have a mentorship program called Brand Builders Academy, where we'll guide you step by step on how to grow your own successful business. People that have grown successful businesses before will be guiding you step by step and will be showing you all of the moving parts to make your business successful. If you're interested in that, there should be a link in the description. Apply to work with me and my team. Next one on the list is reading books. Now, this one is very tricky because books are good, right? There's a lot of good information in books, but books are only as good as information that you actually apply. If you just read the book and you got that information and you do nothing with it, then pretty much reading that book was useless because you have not applied, you have not changed your behavior in any way to apply to your life. So if you're reading books, I would recommend to choose 2 to 3 books, read them like 20 times and apply everything you have from those books. Also be very careful which books you're reading. A lot of books are written by people that have not done what they're talking about. For example, there's a lot of books that are written by writers that are writing about how to build a business, and they have never built a successful business themselves. So how can those people teach you about business if they have never build a business. So have that common sense and only read books from people that have actually applied what they're talking about. So I would put it here in the C category. And my personal mistakes with this book was that I was reading a lot of them, but I have not implemented the advice from those books. So pretty much all of that information was worthless to me. Next one here on the list is massive. It's a fear of judgment. And this is what stops a lot of people from being successful. And you will probably see yourself in what I'm about to share with you. Sometimes you want to start something and you're just thinking, oh, what if I start this project and what will my friends say? Or what will my parents say? Or what will my, I don't know, schoolmates or people in my class will say? Like if this doesn't work out, and you start kind of like going through all of these scenarios, you start thinking about it. And now all of those things are useless, because if you think about it, there is your life, you make your own choices, you're adult, you're responsible for your own actions. And even if something doesn't work out or doesn't go as planned, those people are not there to judge you. It's not their life. It is your life. And you have to be responsible for your own choices. So the sooner you will eliminate this fear of judgment from your life, the sooner you'll start get on the journey to become successful. So I would put fear of judgment here on top of the list because it's literally that important. Next one on the list is fear of taking risks. This one is extremely important, and I would also put it on top of the list because definition of entrepreneurship, for example, is a person that takes risks in order to get a financial gain. So by definition, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to take risks. And if you don't want to take risks, then probably you should not be an entrepreneur. And so you have to ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? If you're taking the risk, let's say you're starting the business, what's the worst that can happen if that business doesn't work out? Okay, if you have a family and you take all of your savings and you're investing in something, that's pretty risky and stupid decision. Don't do that. But if you have some money saved on the side and you want to invest that money and you're young and you can still recover even if it doesn't work out, you should absolutely go for that risk. And there's also different types of risks. There's bad risks and good risk. Bad risk is like crossing the street where there's like a lot of cars. That's a bad, stupid risk. And the good risk is investing in yourself or investing in your business because there is a good chance that that business will succeed and set yourself for life. So always think about what type of risk you're taking because good risk can set you up for life. Also, you have to realize that if you want to have above average life, you have to make above average choices. So for example, spending more time on your business, learning extra skills, investing in yourself in your business. Those are things that most people will never do. But if you have that desire inside of yourself to build a greater life, to have a life of freedom, then you have to take the risk that will get you there. Last one on the list is perfectionism. This is something that just slows down people a lot because you want everything to be perfect from the first try. Let's say you want to start an e-commerce business and it takes you 6 months to launch your e-commerce store. I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs that take like few months to launch their e-commerce store, where those e-commerce stores can be launched in one afternoon. Why they take so long? Because they want it to be perfect. And why they want it to be perfect? Because they are fearful of being judged by other people, right? So I would put this in a B category. This is extremely important, but it's not as important in some of these because these kind of drive everything here. So what's the best solution here with perfectionism is you don't want it to be perfect. You just want it to work. Right? So for example, you build an e-commerce store, you have some ads, you have some products that you selected, just launch it. Just get it to the market, get some feedback from the market, and then based on that information, you can make further decisions. You can always improve your store. You can always improve your ads. You can always improve your business. There's literally no business in the world that is perfect. Even big corporations, they're not perfect. There's so many problems with those big corporations. So you have to just focus on getting things done instead of getting things done perfectly, because this will get you moving, this will get you experience, this will get you skills, and the more of those feedback loops you get, the better you become over time. So this is the list of things that kept me broke. If you start incorporating those things and learning from those things and from my experience, then your life will become significantly better and you will achieve your goals a lot faster. So let me know in the comments, what do you think is keeping you broke right now in your business and in your life? And would love to help you. I'll personally respond to every comment. So subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.